Yo, this is it. I'm Mr. Faye. You listen to Attacking the Beats on IllMuzik.com. We got another 5 beats, another 5 reviews. You know how we do. All right, and you know what? I just noticed something. You know, I got a lot of beats. Actually, I was going through all the beats that were submitted. You know, I thought I was catching up, and next thing you know, I'm like, holy shit, there's like a whole bunch here. Anyway, so I'm trying to get them all knocked out and stuff, and you know, it's just that, I mean, I don't want to put so many shows in 1 week, you know what I mean? So that's why I'm trying to do them 1 per week, but anyway, at this rate, it'll take months, you know, so I'm going to try to do it twice a week for now, you know, and see. But some of you, you know, like, don't send your beat in so much, because like some guys are sending in their beats like all the time. So, you know, it's like, I don't want to have the same people on every show, you know what I mean? So I try to split it up. So just remember that when you're trying to submit something, you know, if you submitted something already and it hasn't been reviewed yet, you know, don't send something else in right away. You know, just wait a bit. So just wait a couple weeks. Anyway, so all right, so we'll kick it off right away. First up, we got Chaxy Raxy with Feta Cheese. Let's check it out. All right. Okay, so that was Chaxy Raxy with Feta Cheese. I like this. This is a nice beat. I like it. It's first of all, the drums are nice and tight, and they blend in very well with the bass line. So it's a very good job on the drums. You know, nice and punchy, but not too punchy. You know, so I have no complaints on the drums. The bass line is really nice. It's just that it's one of those things where it's, I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's kind of monotone, let's say. You know what I mean? It's like, what I try to do with my bass lines is I try to have, man, it depends on the beat or whatever, but I try to have parts of the bass line where I scale it up, you know, especially like towards the end of like, let's say it's a 4-bar loop, scale it up and then bring it back down, like pitch it up, I should say, and bring it back down, you know. So in your case, you kind of have that a bit, but I think it needs to go a little higher in some spots because, you know, it's just kind of the same level the whole way, the bass line. So it's good. The bass line sounds nice. It's just that I want to hear a bit of a variation on that, you know. So the vocal snippet's nice, thrown in here and there and stuff, the flute and keys, whatever. But, you know, it sounds nice. It's just that I just think overall this beat needs some kind of change up. It really does, because it's a nice beat, very dope beat. I just think it really needs something just to change it up. That's it, really, because I was expecting some kind of, like, you know, flute type of change up or something like that, you know. So do that, because I think that would make a big difference on it. Because the way it is, like I said, it's nice. It's just a loop, you know what I mean? But everything sounds nice. That's the main thing here, is that everything, that the way it's mixed, everything blends in nicely. So it's a good job on that. All right, so next up we've got Hello Nasty. Oh, sorry, it's Bruce Wayne with Hello Nasty. Let's check it out. All right. Okay, so that was Bruce Wayne with Hello Nasty. Now, this beat, actually it does sound nasty, really. I mean, it's more or less like, it sounds like some kind of interlude beat or something like that, I mean, it sounds good. I like that low end. That's really cool and all that shit. You get that little clickety-clackety thing. That's cool, but I just think I would like to have heard the whole thing with more of a, straightforward drum pattern, just to see how it sounds, just really check it out like that, because the way you have it, it's like everything, like the drum pattern is just kind of all over the place. And that's fine, because like I said, it's more like an interlude. It sounds like more like an experimental beat or whatever, but it'd be nice to hear it with just a regular drum pattern and see how it sounds with all those sounds you have in there and stuff. And like I said, I like that low end part. That was really cool. With the key part, the keys and all that stuff. You have the pen that goes from right to left or whatever. And that sounds really nice. I like that. But then you have the guitar part, which is really good. I like that. But then you just cut it off and go back to the regular loop. So that, I was thinking maybe with the guitar you were going to go into something totally different, but you didn't. So that's what I was hoping for. So maybe do something like that. Maybe have, after the guitar, have like a different part. Maybe like the same beat, but just the guitar continuing with it or something like that. And try it with a regular drum pattern. I mean, maybe you want to keep the same pattern you have. I don't know. Just to me, it just sounds like it's just everywhere. You know what I mean? So I just want to hear some more consistency in that drum pattern. That's the main thing I was checking for. So try that and see how it comes out, because I'd like to hear that, man. All right, so next up we have No Nonsense Beats with I'm In. Let's check it out. All right. Okay, so that was No Nonsense Beats with I'm In. I like this beat because, first off, the bass line. Bass line's dope. I like it, because it's a nice sound to it, okay? And, it's clean. It sounds good. It fills out that low end. But I think as the rest of the instruments came in, and I'm listening to this beat, I'm like, the bass line's good, but because of the way it sounds with everything else, I think you should filter that bass line, because, I've always said, like, I'm trying to work on my bass line a lot and stuff. I think it's really important in a beat. And, sometimes I'll use certain bass line, VSTs or something like that, some bass sounds, and they sound good. It's just that they're not, like more of a hip hop sound, let's say, so it might be like a rock, type, like a rock sound or something like that or whatever. I don't know. But anyway, the thing is that some of these bass lines, these bass sounds, they don't sound too much like hip hop, let's say. So, like in your case, it does sound good. It's just that I think if you put a low pass filter on it and then bump it up a bit, maybe saturate it a bit, that'll make a big difference. That's what I try to do a lot of times when I find some kind of bass sound that's not, it's I'm not going to say cheesy, but just not, hip hop, let's say. So in your case, yeah, I mean, I think if you did that, put a low pass filter on that bass line, maybe increase it a bit with some saturation. That would sound a lot better, I think. Yeah, because the drums are nice. I like the way you put the reverb on the snare to the left a bit. That was nice little addition there and stuff. And then your keys, it's like sitar or something like that, like the sitar or whatever. That's cool, whatever. But I like that. It's some nice variation, the whole beat and all that stuff. But I think mainly just the bass line. That's the main thing. Everything else was like really, really good. I think just the bass line, if you just add some kind of just give it more of a muffle. You know what I mean? Try that, because I think that would make the beat just sound more hip hop. Let's say. I'm not saying your beat is not hip hop. I'm just saying it would sound more hip hop. So, but it's dope. I like it. I like it. All right. So next up, we've got Nunu with "Beautiful Death 2." Let's check it out. All right. Okay, so that was Nunu with "Beautiful Death 2." I don't know if it's just "Beautiful Death" or "Beautiful Death 2," but anyway. This beat, it's, with the bells that you have and stuff, I mean, they're a little loud in the mix, and I think that you should bring them down a bit and stuff, and I don't think the bells should be the most, prominent part of the beat. I think it should be scaled back a bit, just brought down in volume a bit. And I think, as I'm listening to them, I'm like, what's missing in this? It feels like something's missing. And I think it's with the drums, with there's no hat, there's no hi-hat or whatever. Not that I can hear. It just sounds like the kick and snare. And maybe that's your intention, that's fine. But I think if you add the hat, especially if it's like, you just speed it up, like, you know what I mean? Like, just have the hat just play on every note all the way through, you know what I mean? Have that all the way through. I mean, that'll make a big difference right there, because you have that means you'll have like a solid drum track right there, because right now it's just a kick, snare, like it doesn't feel like there's any kind of swing to it. So add some swing, add the hat all the way through, and then bring the keys down a bit, because they're just too much. I think they're too loud and stuff. I think that if you had some other type of instrument as the main one, maybe, like a bass line, for example, is, that's missing too. Add the bass line. Actually, you know what? Just add the bass line, and just scale back the bells. Scale them back a bit. And yeah, I think that'd probably be better. Yeah, because I mean, you could add something like, I was thinking of strings right off the bat, but you know what? Just add a bass line first and see what happens from there. Maybe you could add strings on top of that. But yeah, I mean, just really, I don't know. I think bass line would probably be better. But anyway, yeah. So just the drums, yeah. Add the hats, add some swing, scale back the bells, and add a bass line. Do that shit, and I think it'd be a much, much better beat. All right. So next up, we've got the last beat. It's Steven Diaz. No Work on Mondays. Let's check it out. All right. Okay, so that was Steven Diaz with No Work on Mondays. Now this one, I like the drums. Drums are really, really dope. Okay, no complaints on the drums. I hear the reverb on the snare. That sounds nice. It's just a bit, so it's really, really good. And I like the samples. I like the way you chop up the samples, the way you arrange it and stuff. You are missing some kind of bass line, and from the sound of the samples, maybe a bass, like playing a bass line, won't be so good with this sample. I don't know. So in that case, like what I do is I'll just take the actual, the track where I have all my samples on, like your main track there, copy that and then put a low pass on it, and that beefs up the beat right away. So it just follows. It's just a mirror of the main track. It's just that it's muffled, right? It's on a low pass. Try that, because at least you have some kind of bass there instead of just having just a plain sounding beat, because right now it's just the drums and those samples. It just kind of sounds plain, even though it sounds dope, it sounds plain. So yeah, add something like that. I mean, if you don't want to do a bass line, you can just do the low pass filter thing, and that makes a world of difference. Like I said, the drums are great, the samples are good, although it is kind of just the same loop. So if you can find some kind of variation with the samples, like just play something different with the samples that you have, even just for like 4 bars, just have something once in a while, just to change it up, because right now it's just the same thing over and over. But really, those are the only things really that are missing, So I would say, yeah, mainly the bass line, because that's the thing. It just makes it sound, so much better, Really, I know I'm always talking about bass lines, but really, it does make a difference, And I think a lot of times people really misinterpret, a bass line, like they underestimate a bass line, because it's really, really needed. So work on that shit, and the beat will be much, much better. All right, so that's it for me. I'm Mr. Fade. This is Attacking the Beats. Keep sending the beats in. I keep reviewing them. And my favorite beat this week, the winner is, drumroll please, No Nonsense Beats with I'm In. Let's check it out.